All right. So the here's how we start kind of our process with game planning for a week as a staff, and I'll show how that leads into getting to use Pro Quick Draw. But on Google, we have a folder that everybody has access to that has every opponent that we're going to play that year. And we start with this game planning document where everybody on the offensive staff puts their name in, and they start putting notes that they saw on film of what they like. And then at the same time, we have a playlist where people are going in. So it's called offensive game plan. Anytime they see a play that they like, they add it into this playlist. And then what we do is, on here, we have a thing where it says, all right, are we going to show this play on film this week? Sometimes you put a play in here and you don't want to show it on film. You're just kind of getting some ideas off of it. And then we put notes on there of why are we putting this in here to begin with. And then whatever coach added it in would add their name in as well, so that we know, all right, who put this in here. So when we get to our game plan meeting, who put this in here? Why are we talking about it? But what the thing does, where you put whether you're going to show it on film or not, what that allows us to do is, when we get to our game plan meeting on Monday morning or Monday afternoon with the kids, I just go down and I click, all right, here's the 25 clips that we wanted to show on film, rather than all 53, because this playlist started with 53, but we don't want to show all 53. So if we want to show it on film, we had marked that. Now we're only showing the 25 clips we want to show on film. The other thing that you'll see on this document is a link to the presentation. So the presentation then goes into a web-based version of PowerPoint, and it looks like this. So I'm going to go now over to Pro Quick Draw and show you how does that play into what we're doing. So on Pro Quick Draw, we started off the year, and I was putting everything into a grid like this, which I thought it was a more efficient way to show all their different alignments in one way. And at first, this is what it looked like, and it was fine. It got all of their alignments out there on paper. And then we do some run game notes, some pass game notes, start drawing up some stuff. But I didn't like that it just didn't give us enough, I thought. So about week 3, I got into this this template that I really like for how we now do things. So like I talked about on the podcast, it's got our strong run game, our weak run game, and some of it's repetitive, right? If we like a play both ways, we just put it on there. And then it's got, what's our quick game that we like out of this formation? What's our screen game? What's our drop back and play action game? And I stole this template, full disclosure, we're football coaches, we steal everything. I stole this template from Tyler Schneider at Bixby, Oklahoma. And he did the thing with Alex Kirby last year on Throw Deep, where he did this awesome package of what they do at Bixby. And this was one of the big things that I stole from there was how do you game plan simpler? Some formations, like you can see this one, we didn't like a ton from it. Other ones, there's more things that we like from them. This was a team that was really good on defense, and they were going to make it difficult on us. So there wasn't as much that we liked from certain things. And then we get into, then we get into some special packages. Like this was a package that we'd put in, we called it Cheetah, and it was going to be a jet sweep package that had a bunch of different wrinkles in it. So here's where integrating the huddle clips comes into play on this one. So not this clip, but I'm going to show you how we then watch this. So then this comes in, and we were playing for a conference championship this game. So, Target says hardware season, just knowing that we win this one, we get to put some hardware on the wall. So kids see this now, and then as we click through it, we can click on plays and show, all right, this was our ZN snag that we liked from that week. We had run it in past years versus them. So giving them an example of what is this going to look like if we put this back out there. So they know. And then as we click through, let's get down to that cheetah package. So we had run this cheetah package 2 years prior versus another team. And it was one that said, all right, let's pull this back in and see if we can't make this, let's gain some more miles out of something similar. So sorry about those email. Hopefully that's not coming through on the audio. But how do we make that? How do we use that again and get some more miles out of it? So I said, all right, this is what it's going to look like. Giving them a handful of different clips of what this looks like. And now they can see everything that's happening. And then this was, we had a trick play in there as well that we were running off of that package. But then when a kid goes into huddle, they're going to see this exact game plan. So if I go to that week, they're going to see this exact game plan put into huddle. So this is the full video of where I'm drawing up on it. So I have a tool called a Wacom tablet that allows you to draw on your screen. And I go through and I diagram everything that I'm talking about and everything that you see down here in this built out run menu or these play menu. I diagram all that and I show them with sound on, like, all right, this is what that's going to look like. We go through the play and then, so that's about let's see, that's a 10-minute video that I put out to them with me diagramming everything on there. So while it's somewhat simple in the presentation here, I don't always have a lot of drawings on there. For the sake of time, I don't draw those up because I know that I'm going to draw them up on the video that we're going to show them. So they get to see that. And then there's also just a slideshow. This is just a slideshow then of that exact same presentation that we had put into PowerPoint. This is a slideshow in Huddle of that, where it's got all 3 angles of film. And it's got all those, no voiceover, no talking through, just simple diagrams and plays and whatnot. So that's how we use Pro Quick Draw. Okay, do you want me to demonstrate Pro Quick Draw a little bit in terms of how easy it is to draw stuff up?
Yeah, I would love to see that. And just, you showed it on both sides, but what kind of time does it take to get from what you're doing, with the PowerPoint and some of those things and get it all together into Huddle? How streamlined is that process?
Okay, yeah, let's do that. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a new one so that I'm not messing with anything from previous years. All right, so you might think, all right, so that looks cool, but how long does that take to do all that? Here's the great thing about Pro Quick Draw is if somebody else has created a template, they can send it to you and you drop it into yours and it just works. So I have that template saved. It's called game planning strikeout template. And so all I have to do is I click on that template and we're ready to go. So what it looks like, I can worry about that right now. What it would looks like for us is if I go into our season and let's say we're going to play Lacrosse Logan, I click on their alignment to formations and I drop in that alignment to that formation right into there. I've made it from previous years, but let's say that they have they've changed a little bit. All I have to do is click on it, click edit, and now we can start moving guys around if we need to. Let's say that they've moved into an even front type of team or whatnot. You can easily just move those things around and whatnot. Or let's say, so now this is where we would start saying, all right, we really like inside zone here this week. And we start putting those plays into into that grid. But if we want to draw up a play, all right, so we're going to draw up a play. I have a template made for just a simple one. I just want to drop one play, right? I don't want the whole grid on there. Simple template made for that. Let's say that we're going to run it versus what we would call a rip trips. So I click my rip trips, and sure, I've already made all these, but it didn't take me long to make all of these different formations and whatnot that you see over here. So I go onto there, I click save as, and so I'll diagram up. Our boss play is our three verticals concept. So I'll draw that up. It brings you into a format like this. You can click the play editor tool, which is new on their part this season, where it's got a bunch of pre-built routes and different things already built into it. So if you got most of the routes that you're going to run are already in here, and you can search for them as well by just typing in, you want to run a fade route, type it in, and it pops up. Right now there you go. All right. So this is the tool right here that flips it. So if you want it right now, it's set to the left, but I flip it so it goes to the right. And so this is our three verticals concept. I'll draw that up for you. You want to change the color, make it really simple to do that. If they have a route that you don't have, so we run what we call a middle read route. And I don't have that saved up. I just click on this drawing tool up here, and I'm going to draw this middle read route right there, and change the color of it. I always like to increase the density of it to make it a little bit, just make it stand out more. Click on the routes that you want. Drop them in. It's so simple and so quick, especially once you have some of your templates already made. All right, and there we go. Our play is there. You click back to it, and it drops it in, and it's made. All right, so now you're like, that's great. I'd really like to add a clip from Huddle onto there. So I click on my Huddle play library. This will take a second just to load up because I didn't have it preloaded. But I click on my Huddle play library, and it's going to bring up everything that I can add in from Huddle here in a second. Okay, so let's go to, I should have on here where, yep. All right, so I have all of my offensive plays and defensive plays from this season here. But let's find an example of boss that we can drop in and show the kids. So you can filter, say, all right, I want just boss. I want to filter by the gain. So we can show them one that worked for us. All right, put a couple examples in. You click on those examples, and then they're in there. And if you want to watch them, all you have to do is click the Huddle tab for player and present. You get to them, and now you can show your kids. Turn the sound off so you guys don't have to hear that. And now you got examples that you can show your kids on what that play is going to look like and whatnot. And then to get it into Huddle, all you do is upload to Huddle as a new playlist. You name it whatever you want. You pick which folder you want to put it in. And then you would click upload, and it's going to, I'm not going to do it because I don't want it in my playbook right now. But you'd click where you want it, name it, click upload, and it puts it into Huddle, and it'll be there within 3-4 minutes for you to show to your kids, and get them ready to go.
That's great stuff, Coach. I could see how this really streamlines things for you. I know you said you do this throughout the year. It starts with the off season, sharing some ideas between coaches, and then having the things you put together during the year, and then getting it together all in one place. I think that's the key. Is you're showing the back end of how you put all this work together, but ultimately it's how the players see it and learn it. And I think that's the power of this tool.
Agreed. Yeah, it's getting them to see everything that you want them to see. And in the preseason, I'll have kids that will say, Coach, where's our playbook? Where's this? Where's that? And I'll tell them, like, here it all is, right? So here's our install. This is our practice film, but here's our install, right? Here's our day one install. So everything you need to know from day one is right here. So our playbook no longer is in a separate place. It's all on. So day one install slides. So you want to know what plays are we putting in? Here's our slides from that day. We're putting inside zone a couple different ways. We're putting in stick. Here's some examples of what that looks like. And then also you have me talking through it just like I do on those those weekly game plan installs. I talk through it for each install the first couple of weeks of camp, drawing over them, giving the kids the reads, talking through the reads, whatnot, and giving them an overview. And so if a kid joins late, if a kid says, Coach, I don't remember when we put this play in or whatnot, I say, hey, go look back at the installs from the first week of the season. Everything is there. And you can find it, but it's no longer well, I lost my playbook, or it's all in Huddle. You don't need to look anywhere else. It's all in Huddle, and it's in Huddle because of the work that we put in on PQD.
That's great stuff, Coach. I really appreciate you taking the time to share this with our listeners. I think it's a tremendous tool, and obviously it all goes into how you use it. And I think you guys are making the most of the platform to really be able to teach your kids well.
Yeah, it's been a time saver, I'll tell you that. And it's something that once you start using it, you go, holy cow, how do we operate without it?